Hello, good morning, Traffic Talk.
Yeah, good morning again, Sarge.
Yes.
Sarge, the next thing again, right? These why the stoplights them? They ain't got cameras up because what a lot of them drivers does do try to beat the lights and then they speed up
Right.
when they nearly reach the light they speed up.
Mm-hmm.
When you look now, the lights come on and them on the thing and they got to go, and that could cause a serious accident and knock down somebody. Some of them they try to speed the lights. I want if they had a camera that they could detect them and then give them a ticket.
No, caller, we are not at that state. There are
All right.
cameras. There are cameras at some of the traffic lights. For example, I know that the traffic light on Wellington Road, there is a camera mounted there. So there are cameras at some areas, but not all of the stoplights, and they are not equipped in terms of that automatic photographing of what is taking place. But there are cameras at some. Eventually, as part of our ongoing traffic management and thing like that, that is the next step. So the photo radar is the eminent one, and then eventually we will have that with because we recognize a lot of that, and so when people continue to disregard, a matter of fact, to run the traffic lights is considered reckless driving. I myself, though unfortunate, had been how to say, an offender of that, and I was adequately the consequence of that
Hold that thought there.
in relation to that.
Let's go
Yeah.
right back to the telephone line. Hello, good morning, Traffic Talk. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This Granny, Sarge, I want to ask a little question, right? What is the limit be in the great state of St. Peter? I don't know if you can hear me good, but
Yes.
yes.
I am hearing you very clearly, caller. And the speed limit in the great state of St. Peter's is 20 miles per hour.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this another question. I hear you say when it's 20 miles per hour. We are those signs in St. Peter's to tell people who is traveling. Well, two, you have one down in the New Road area. But you have many, absolutely many roads that you can take, right, to go into the great state of St. Peter's. You can walk from to Shadwell to the New Road Housing Project. You can walk there by the Tower Gate without passing those speed ameters that you all have put up.
Right.
And when people coming down out of the great state of St. Peter's, we are signs in St. Peter's to tell them, right, that they must drive 20 miles per hour.
Right. Well. I must say that we are satisfied that there is sufficient signage to indicate and to inform motorists as to the speed limit in a particular area. There might be some areas that are in need of sign, but there is sufficient sign, in my opinion, that can indicate alert a driver as to what speed they travel in that particular area. We try to ensure that at the beginning of that area where the speed limit changes, that there is a sign to indicate to you whether it is a 40 mile or a 20 mile. So whether at the exit point or the entrance point. I am a little bit confused when callers say there is not enough signs, because the truth is, it caused me to wonder if persons expect to see a sign every 10 feet, 20 feet, and that will really not make any sense from the standpoint that if you know you're traveling in an area that is 20 miles, you don't need to be told every time or as often as possible that you should be driving at 20 miles. And so I really don't understand the point about not enough signs.
Sergeant, in an area, the area of St. Peter's, as he said,
yes.
all of St. Peter's is 20 miles?
The only area that is 40 miles is that stretch of road that after you leave the Shadwell roundabout, and then you pass the area of the bus stop right up to the foot of the airport road to go into Gillards. That stretch of road is 40 miles. But everywhere else in St. Peter's is 20 miles. Everywhere, despite the turn, the roads or whatever, it doesn't matter what road you're driving, exit, entry point, 20 miles. And so you don't need a sign to tell you that, because the fundamental rule is that in villages and towns, 20 miles. In non-built up areas, 40 miles. So areas where there is not residential area and so on, you're allowed to drive a little faster than the 20 miles. But areas where there is residence, an area that the traffic and everything, the road condition and everything, the 20 miles is a control measure for you to be able to respond, to avoid, maneuver, and in the event of any unforeseen
Let's take a couple more calls here because we run out of time. We'll take this one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Observation. By East Quay Street, when you're coming from down by the old courthouse coming up, just on the top there by the traffic light. I've been in that area there a couple of times well, and especially at afternoon around 4 o'clock. The vehicles coming from east, they don't seem to stop when the light is amber. They come straight across, so then you're coming out of the stop sign, they cannot get out. You have to be there waiting to the 23 red light come and go before you can move. It's an observation. Could you please put a police there to direct traffic at some point in time, if it's possible? Thank you very much, sir. Just an observation. Thank you.
Okay. Sergeant McGuire, I got to take a moment for the 9 o'clock news, and I'll give you a few minutes after that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. The time of the studios of ZIZ Radio is just about 2 minutes moving down from the 9 o'clock hour as we go to the 9 o'clock news update. It's all sponsored by The Grange. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities? Are you searching for dignified facilities to serve the elderly? Then search no more. The Grange Healthcare Facility is simply the best place to satisfy your needs. It is the first of its kind in St. Kitts, situated just 7 miles out of Bastia, with beautifully landscaped grounds in serene and tranquil surroundings. The Grange offers residential care places, daycare facilities for seniors, convalescent care, rehabilitation services, overnight, weekend and holiday stay, and complementary therapies. A caring and experienced staff has promised to take good care of you or your loved ones. For more information and bookings, call 465-8020 or 466-5525 or fax your requests to 466-8221.
This is your 9 a.m. news update on ZIZ. I am Kent Fuentes. Good morning. A total of 55 schools were on Monday, November 24th, given high praise for their sterling contribution to the National Recycling Program during the 2025 National School Recycling Competition Awards ceremony. Mr. Nelvin Maynard, the General Manager of the Solid Waste Management Corporation, expressed gratitude to the participants and respective stakeholders, noting the significance and the long-term benefits to be derived from recycling. The Honorable Dr. Joel Clark, Minister responsible for Sustainable Development, Environment, et al., shared this recycling ceremony, which is just the tail end of our recycling program. Our educational program would not be possible if we did not have the stellar commitment from the Ministry of Education. There would be no program without our students, our teachers, and our parents. To our students, it is so important that we instill lifelong valuable lessons of stewardship and environmental consciousness. The National School Recycling Competition is an interministerial partnership between the Ministries of Sustainable Development, et al., the Department of Environment, the Solid Waste Management Corporation, and the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Taiwanese Mission. The Ministry of Health recently hosted the Chronic Disease Self-Management Program Awards ceremony at the SDA Church Faith in Emmanuel, a joyful gathering where our seniors came out dressed to impress to receive their well-earned certificates. These certificates represent 6 weeks of commitment, learning, and empowerment as participants strengthen their ability to manage chronic conditions and live healthier, more independent lives. In attendance were the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister and Minister of Health, the Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Aging and Disabilities, Mr. Curtis Martin, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health. Additionally, the Honorable Dr. Denzel L. Douglas, Minister of Foreign Affairs, delivered special remarks virtually, lending his support to the celebration remotely. Their combined presence and participation underscore the government's continued commitment to supporting our elderly with the tools, knowledge, and the care they deserve. Regionally, Jamaica's economy is bracing for its steepest quarterly decline in years as the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa hits key sectors, though officials project a return to growth in the final quarter of 2026. The Planning Institute of Jamaica forecast a contraction of 11 to 13% for the October to December 2025 quarter, with the full fiscal year 2025 to 2026 expected to record a 3 to 6% decline in overall economic activity. Speaking during the PIOJ's hybrid quarterly press conference, Director General Dr. Wayne Henry said the island's economy had been on track for a steady growth prior to the Category 5 hurricane. Growth of 3.1% was estimated for the first half of the current fiscal year, and this was expected to continue throughout the second half, he noted. And that brings us to the end of the 9 a.m. news update here on ZIZ. Join us for more on these and other stories during our major news at noon. I am Kent Fuentes. Good morning.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
Are you looking for a place that provides skilled nursing care and rehabilitation services to people with special needs, illnesses, injuries, or functional disabilities? Are you searching for dignified facilities to serve the elderly? Then search no more. The Grange Healthcare Facility is simply the best place to satisfy your needs. It is the first of its kind in St. Kitts, situated just 7 miles out of Bastia, with beautifully landscaped grounds in serene and tranquil surroundings. The Grange offers residential care places, daycare facilities for seniors, convalescent care, rehabilitation services, overnight, weekend and holiday stay, and complementary therapies. A caring and experienced staff has promised to take good care of you or your loved ones. For more information and bookings, call 465-8020 or 466-5525 or fax your requests to 466-8221.
You're simply the best.
This is 96.1 FM,
From the Ministry of Education.
Eastern Caribbean.
All right, Pastor McGuire, we have passed our time, so we're just going to do our closing argument right now.
Okay, all right. So then we continue to encourage the motorists to always adhere to the the rules of the road in relation to the speed limit. And so we are hoping that everybody, every driver will take that civic responsibility in ensuring that we all together achieve the objective of road safety. We do that together when it comes to crime prevention, and the same thing can be achieved when in relation to road safety. So until another time, I'd like to thank our listeners for continued involvement and participation in the Traffic Talk. See you next week.
All right, folks, that was Traffic Talk with Sergeant Maguire. You're listening to ZIZ Radio, the pulse of the Eastern Caribbean, just about 11 minutes moving down from 9.
Declining.